Most people waste months hiring the wrong salespeople, but I can tell within 5 minutes of a phone call if someone will make or lose me money. Just give me 10 minutes today and I'll show you the exact system that built my business to over $1 million a week in sales. All right, so here's my process. Before somebody gets on the phone with me, I'm going to look through their resume. Now, when I'm looking at a resume, primarily what I'm looking for is other sales experience. Now, I want to hire salespeople specifically here that already know how to sell. Like, I don't want to have to train someone how to ride a bike. I want to hire somebody who already knows how to ride a bike, and I just give them a bike that goes a lot faster, right? That's better. That's whatever. And so that is what I'm looking for. It is not to take somebody who has no idea how to sell and to train them and to master them and mold them. And like, as much as I would love to think that I have the skills to do that, I don't. I want to go fast, and to go fast, I need to hire people who just know what they're doing already. And so the first thing I'm looking for on the resume is, do they have relevant sales experience? I'm also going to look in where they live. So this is really important because people will tell you that they're willing to drive, an hour to get to work every day. I've been doing it for years, they'll say. But what I've found is that the longer the distance between where they work and then where they live, the less they hold on, because that drive, that 45 minutes sitting in traffic, or in Philadelphia, got to go across in the bridge to New Jersey, like that wears people down. It steals their energy. And that is energy that we want to capture to sell more jobs, to serve more customers, to help more people, right? But if they're tired and cranky because they sat in traffic, and they're cranky when they go home, it's going to be really hard for them to sustain over the long term. So I really look for people that live in very close proximity to where they're going to be working and selling. That's what I'll look for. I'll send a message. I want quick responses. I try to get them on the phone. When I get them on the phone, what I'm really looking for is, first, a tone of voice. So I want them to be excited to talk to me, right? They pick up the phone and they're like, hey, yeah, it's great to hear from you. I'm really excited to talk. And I can just tell, like, they're interested, right? And they're happy, and and sometimes it's a change of voice when they hear who's calling. That's a good sign, right? Other people I've called, they'll be like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, this is Brian. You applied on Indeed for this job." And they're like, "Uh-huh." I'm like, "Okay, do you have a few minutes to talk?" "Yeah, sure." And they're like super quiet. There's like no energy. Like, it's 2 o'clock and it sounds like they just like got out of bed or something, right? Honestly, like, if they pick up the phone like that, I tell them, "Hey, I'm sorry. Like, I actually got to go. Can I call you later or whatever?" I say something to get off the phone, because if they don't have a ton of energy and are excited to talk to me, I have zero interest in talking to them. So don't feel like, just because you made a call, or just because you even set up the appointment to talk to them, that you have to talk to them. It is totally okay to not waste your own time because you're busy, and if it's not gonna be a right fit for them, you don't wanna waste their time either. And just, I mean, I have literally hung up after 3 minutes because I was like, "This isn't gonna work, and I'm not gonna waste a half hour of my time here." And so don't be afraid to do that. I am then gonna get into their background step by step, walk me through. And I ask them a key question. I say, "What is the best job that you ever had?" And they'll tell me, "I sold flooring," or like whatever it was. And okay, well, what did you like about that job? And I really work to start asking as many detailed questions as possible. And then I'll ask them, "Tell me about your commission plan. How did you make money?" And then they'll say, "Well, I got a percentage of sales." "Well, what percentage of sales?" And they'll say, "Well, I got like 5%, whatever." And I said, "Okay, like, was that all? Like, is there anything else to it?" And what I'm really looking for are, do they know the details of their commission plan? Because some of them will honestly say, "Well, I'm not really sure. I didn't really understand it." And I'm like, "But wait a minute. You just told me this was the best job you ever had, and you didn't understand how you got paid. Like, that doesn't really make sense." And chances are they're not really money motivated if they don't understand how they get paid. And as salespeople, like, I want them to be extremely money motivated. Like, literally, that is their job, is to sell. I am a stickler for grilling them on the numbers. I ask them, "What is the best month you ever had? How much money did you make that month? What is the biggest job you ever sold? What was the average ticket? What are your gross margins? What was the target? How did you rank compared to other people? What was your close rate, right? What was your goal? Have you won any awards or recognitions in the company? What do the best guys do that you try to emulate?" And then on the commission plan, it's what are the tiers? What are the margins? Was there a growth component? Was there volume? What are their budgets? Like, I just ask and ask and ask to continue to try to pull as much as I can. And some of the guys, like the best salespeople, know every single number. Click of your fingers. They know what they sold every month, what their numbers were, and every component of it. those are the people that that's the 5 minutes, right? I can tell within 5 minutes because I'm gonna get to that pretty quick, and if they have a great tone of voice, they know their numbers, they had these goals, they knew their close rates, they set these targets, like, that is the type of person that I want on my team because that is what those are what aligns with me and what we're doing and trying to build $100 million sales-driven company is I need people who know how to sell, and once again, we get them on the bike that goes faster, and they can go with us, and so those are the questions that I would ask is be very, very detailed in your questions. The other benefit of this that I've found is, like, I've actually gotten some pretty good ideas to design commission plans and compensation plans and, like, what people really like and what people kinda hate, and just by asking so many different people this question, and it's helpful for me, plus is a good barometer to know, like, do they know what they're talking about? And I also try and do this as, like, rapid fire as I can. Now, this is my personality, I'm like a cut to the chase type of person, but I also wanna see how they react because, like, sales is really like a fast-paced job, like, things come at you, right, as quick as you can. You have to be a good listener. You have to hear a customer's objection, right, and they have a false objection, then they have a real objection. They might be saying money, but it's really trust. They may be saying, like, "I wanna get another quote," but it's really time, right? Like, there's all these things in sales, and at the end of the day, our goal as salespeople is really just to understand what the customer's issue are but the truth is, and then can we overcome it? Like, do we have a solution that solves for their problem? And we want to do that based on trust, based on doing it right, and that we are never the cheapest, but our goal is to fix it right, to do the job right, to help make it affordable, right? These are the traits that we're looking for. And so I want to intentionally rapid fire, put the pressure on them, ask the questions, grill one next, go, go, go. And I want to see like how they react to that, right? And I want to see like can they keep up? And if they can, once again, we're good to go. And if it's like, I don't know about this guy, like he doesn't really know his numbers, he's kind of slow to answer, like he's stumbling over his own words, he can't really communicate, like, he's like feeling the pressure of me, and I'm not, I'm masking it like this, right? There's like not that much pressure. But salespeople have to perform, and the best ones, can make a ton of money and they can thrive in an organization that's like that. And if not, like, there's no point in wasting either one of our time. So don't feel bad about that. And at this point, so I grill them, right? I totally grill them. I ask them all these questions, and then if I don't like them and they fail my test, I just say, hey, thanks for your time today. We're going through this process, doing these initial calls, and we'll be in touch if we decide to move forward. And I end the call right there. So if you're listening to this, if you ever interview with me or somebody else and they say that, chances are it's not gonna work out. But if I like them, I turn it on, right? At this point, I really haven't told them anything about us or the job. I'm just like grilling them, and they don't have a lot of reference of what I want to hear or what I should hear. I'm just like grilling them, right? But if I like them, I turn it on. I talk about our company's history, right? I say, hey, my brother and I, we started the thing, we've grown it from zero. We do over $50 million. We have multiple brands. We've grown Midas to this point. We're growing our painting business. We have a turf business. We're growing a towing business, whatever it is, and that tons of people rise within our organization and we reinvest. And like, I talk about where we have been, where we are going, the vision of what I'm building, which is a multi-brand, multi-state, massive franchise-driven operating, company. And I talk about, the type of people that succeed in our organization, the ones that rise, that we want to promote from within, for people who are driven and they're team players and they're accountable and they're positive and they do the right thing. And they show us, like, prove to me that you deserve a raise, more responsibilities, and that opportunity will exist. So I paint that picture. Now, obviously, if you're looking to hire somebody and maybe he's your first hire, your early hire, and you don't have, the history that we have, that's okay. Like, I didn't either until I did, but I talked about the vision of what I was creating, right? And I said, hey, I'm just getting started here, but our goal is to build the number one auto repair business here in the Philadelphia market, right? I didn't say the biggest, I didn't say the most profitable, but the number one. Now, by number one in what? I don't know, but like the number one auto repair business in Philadelphia. Right now, I've expanded to, like, we're in southeastern Pennsylvania, we're in the tri-state area, whatever. But like, you could be owner, like, if it's one store, you could be like, hey, we want to build the number one, automotive or paint business in Scranton, PA. Like, that's what we want, right? It could be hyper down. But the idea is that, like, driven people want to be part of something that's growing, something that has potential, something that has upside. Like, driven people that want to win, they want to play the game with other people that want to win, right? And so You have to paint that vision of this is what I'm building. I'm building this massive company. I am looking for people that want to play at the level that I am going to play at. And if that sounds like you, you'd fit great. And if it doesn't, that's okay. You can work for one of my competitors who we are going to like lap multiple times here. And so really give thought to the picture that you want to paint, the vision that you want to create. Like you should have that either way, right? No matter what, like you should have that vision of what you're trying to create in your life and for your business, and it aligns with that. The more clarity that you can get on that when you pitch it to people of like, this is what I'm creating, like people want to follow visionaries, right? People want to follow the people who have the big ideas and who have the like balls to say it and to like put the plan and start to make progress on that. And so I put it out there. Obviously I've got this channel. I'm popular here online, and so people can easily find me, right? And I tell them that, hey, put in my name. You can read my stuff. Like I'm building in public intentionally because I want them to see this, right? I want to attract people who want to be in my world and want to play at the level that I want to play at. And then we can create those opportunities for people. So for you getting out there and like putting your company on whatever, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram or sharing stories about your guys, like that becomes an asset that when you're trying to attract talent, they see that and then they get an inside look into how you operate, how you think, how you celebrate your team's wins, how you are setting these big goals in public, and not only setting, you're executing on them and you're having success. And like, once again, A players want to be surrounded by other A players. And so almost every leadership person that we've hired has told me that they listen to my stuff, they watch the stuff, and like they're already sold and want to be part of the team before I even meet them. Right. And so you can use social media and online presence and stuff, not just as like a way to get your voice out there, but you put this out there and it becomes a magnet for stuff. And so I'm in the talent game. Like, we just happen to fix cars. We just happen to paint houses or tow vehicles or put turf down. But at the end of the day, I'm in the talent acquisition business. And the better job I can do at finding the talent, vetting the talent, getting them on board, and then, having the training systems internally to get them up to speed, the more success we're going to have, right? And then it compounds and it compounds. And I'm going to have a whole other video on like compound leadership, but just start doing it. And at the end of the day, hiring is like flipping a deck of cards, right? Where you pretty much, you go through your cards here and you have to go through some 2s, 4s, and 6s before you get to the kings, queens, and aces, but then you hold on to those cards. But the beauty of it is like you have way more than 52 cards. You have unlimited number of cards that you can continue to flip and flip and flip until you have a stack deck of kings, queens, and aces. And then you can build whatever business that you want to do. And so don't be afraid to continue to flip the cards. And then when you hire people, just set expectations, right? If I hire a salesperson, I expect them for like the painting business, for example, to sell $20,000 in the first 2 weeks. If they can't sell $20,000 in the first 2 weeks and we have leads for them, we've shown them and like we're doing ride-alongs and like whatever, we're doing all the things, like we're arming with them tools, but they still can't sell $20,000, like they're not going to work out, right? Period. Like I'm not going to give them 90 days to figure out if they can sell or not. It's like, here's the bike. Can you ride it around my parking lot? And if you can't, if you fall off the bike, like literally like a minute after I give it to you, like you're not the right person. And that's okay. There are other jobs where you can learn and have the patience. Like I want the people ride the bike, go fast. But that's me. Like, define you and your culture and what you're willing to do. But like I have big goals. I have massive goals that we want to get to in a very short amount of time. And to do that, I need to go fast and I need people who know what they're doing and ready to roll. And so anyway, I hope this was helpful as you start to think through what your process is. But as a recap, I look for location proximity. I look for tone of voice, energy. I grill them on their numbers. The more numbers they know, the details they know, and just the energy that they have as I rapid fire and like see how do they respond under pressure. If they can do all that stuff, I can tell within like my goal is 5 minutes to figure that out. And if not, I move on. I don't want to waste my time or theirs. And so anyway, if you like this, you want to hear more, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to put out more content on how we are scaling our business from 0 to 50 million and then 50 to 100. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.